Today, Neil and I are out to explore Sugar Loaf in the gloriously hot and sunny Brecons in South Wales. Sugar Loaf is a slightly isolated 596 metre high mountain just northwest of Abergavenny. From the summit, views all around are impressive in clear weather, as many well-known mountains and ridges can be seen in the distance. But more of that when we get up there. Hi, I'm Warren Brand and welcome to another Linleys video. The Danny Winnelt YHA has been comfortable once again. Neil and I have stayed here many times over the last 15 years. It's convenient and ideally placed for trekking on the eastern side of the Brecon Beacons. Good for any time of the year really. Their comfortable lounge is lovely and a great place to sit and relax in the evening. This morning follows our second night staying here, and the breakfast, a sausage bat with coffee, is basic but fine fare. We're looking forward to getting back to having a full English breakfast once the COVID restrictions are fully lifted. After a short drive to the northern edge of Abergavenny, we passed the old Brecon Beacons sign right alongside the main A40. Along the back roads, we passed the entrance to a vineyard. I have no idea how extensive this vineyard is, or what sort of wines they produce, but if we have time later, it would be tempting to return to find out. And now the hard work begins, first by taking this footpath up from the road along a narrow cut along the fence line.
Ooh, spooky!
We are pleased to have some shade, as even at this relatively early time in the morning, the sun is getting up and we don't want too much more heat today. We had a full day out on the mountains yesterday, up and over Cribben in the sunshine. I hope you've seen that video previously. Neil had a "are we nearly there yet" moment, but he knows very well that we have a long way still to go. Come on mate, get on with it. I have to say that in all the trips that Neil and I have done together over the many years we've been trekking together, he has never moaned or groaned about the distance, the challenges or the weather. He almost met his match on a couple of occasions on some difficult scree sections in the Lake District many years ago, but he just focused hard and kept on going. The dappled light, the sprinkling of the mix of bright sunlight and the shady spots as the leaves on the trees above leave holes in the canopy for the sun rays to pierce through, adds a certain mystique to this section of the route. Today we're just ambling, enjoying the lovely woodlands, glorious weather and just being out for a trek once again. This route won't be very long or challenging, but I'm sure the views from the top will be very impressive. As we break out from the corner of the patch of woodland, the peak of Sugar Loaf is before us in the distance. Everything looks lush and green with the summertime at its height. Further up, we cover just over a kilometre of grassy ground with broad areas all around of thick bracken.
It's there. I changed the battery this morning, so.
Back in the 20 years ago, it was
Ponies, or are these horses, seem to roam around freely in this area. These ones paused their munching as we ambled past, not bothered by us being nearby, but seemingly curious to watch the way we're heading. If they could speak to us, what would they say, I wonder? On the final approach, we paused to look back over the lowlands and admire our achievements so far. Almost at the top, almost there. Like so many notable peaks and hilltops in England, Scotland and Wales at least, there's a bold trig point marker on the top. This summit is no exception, and the white painted concrete lump stands on the very highest crop of stone in the area. At 596 metres, Sugar Loaf is not the highest in the area, but is surely a fine mountain and one well worth ticking off the list, especially like today, to enjoy the fantastic panoramic views. A routine that Neil and I started so many years ago is the wearing of our silly hats for a photo moment at the top. My hat goes back to a random purchase in around 1988 in Blackpool, and Neil's is similar, although somewhat newer. The other folk on the summit around gave us some odd looks, but who cares? So, from the top we can see clearly several peaks and ridges, starting with the dark shape of Ysrid 4, just over 5 kilometres away, easterly. Looking round to the left and further away is the hill of Crag Sidrin at 423 metres, with the trees on the north side. This is about 13 kilometres away. Panning further left, looking more northeasterly now, is the characteristic shape of Cumroy, split ends of the Offord Dyke Ridge, which then continues on to the left further and going away to the distance, still really clear. The headland of Cumroy Hill is about 7 kilometres away, and Offers Dyke goes off as a long ridge line over to Hay Bluff, which is tucked behind the ridge of Darren Lewid. Left further in the far distance is the ridge of Lord Hereford's Knob, with one fach nearer as the very highest point in the area at 811 metres, dominant at about 12 kilometres distance. Next is a sequence of summits which I really can't pronounce, along a ridge that ends up stopping just north of Crickhowl, due west of the summit here. Taking a slightly circular tour around, we begin our descent from the top via the well-maintained path down on the northern side of Sugar Loaf, but heading east down the graded track.
They're running.
Yeah,
Don't fancy that.
carrying anything.
They're not.
Also, they're wearing shorts and t-shirts. We're like,
Yeah, they got.
Back over some open grassy land, we next take a dive back through the shady woodland. Oh look, a bench with a view overlooking the woody hillside below. It was tempting to stop for a few minutes and have a drink and a snack. It's times like this when one realises how lucky we are with such lovely countryside around to enjoy, explore and appreciate.
Oh, the back of the vineyard.
A quick look at the map confirms just how much further there is to go. And we talk about stopping for a cheeky early afternoon pint at the nearby pub. But we have to disappear from here and finish the last few kilometres down to the start. Back to the lower area, our concluding challenge is to negotiate this very overgrown path. It is a formal right of way, but obviously not used very much.
it wouldn't happen to win.
Oh, down a bit.
There's always an immense sense of achievement in finishing a trek, having ticked off a summit, seen some great views, explored an area of woodland or negotiated a difficult track or route. Today's adventure was not overly challenging, but it did include some top quality ingredients. The lamb flag is so helpfully placed right at the end of our trek today, and we have just enough time to pop inside and enjoy a quick pint. At the end of this video, there are links to tempt you to watch another video, something similar maybe, or another from a playlist. If you have time, why not dive into another Linleys video? Thanks Neil for another most enjoyable weekend away in the Brecons. We do have another planned in the autumn. Thanks for watching and bye for now.